evening and welcome to 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. I'm Kurt Gutgsell. The 29th annual Jasper Strassenfest is underway. First year chairman Ron Flick talks about preparations for this year's Strassenfest. Ron, I know you're busy. Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you guys have been gearing up for this year's fest.
And the day is finally here.
just talk about how long you've been preparing for this year's Strassenfest.
Well, we actually get together just after last year's Strassenfest and jot down notes on what went well and what didn't. We begin in earnest in January actually and start having monthly meetings and meetings twice a month, picking out themes and grand marshals and ideas and making changes. So it's been a steady meetings since January.
And what are some of the highlights of this year's fest? I know things change from time to time, but what are some of the main highlights?
We do like to make some changes every year, look at things and try to improve it every year, make it grow. This year we are having a group, Ball in the House, coming in. They're going to be playing at Kundak Hall at St. Joe's Parish, Saturday 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock shows. And it's the first group of that caliber. They've opened for a lot of pop acts. We are charging an admission, and the tickets are selling well. So that's a new thing for us. We also put a larger stage down on the square, the southwest stage, in hopes that we would bring in more acts in the future also. So we're ratcheting up that entertainment more and more every year at the Strassenfest.
Every year the Strassenfest has a theme. Talk about this year's theme, Ron.
This year's theme is Born of Rich Soil, Jasper's agricultural heritage. Last year we did the woodworking theme, and this year we decided to honor the families and individuals that work in the agricultural industry here in Dubois County. Also because of the log barn that we're building along the Riverwalk, and we wanted to feature that. It's a new addition to the Jasper. So all tied together this year in that theme.
Well, you mentioned the barn and some of the other things like the museum and Kundak Hall that you'll be using for the concert. You've kind of spread things out. It used to be basically downtown, but now you guys are featuring the whole city, which is probably really good.
We liked it, yeah. I think spreading it out. St. Joe's Church has always been a very big draw. We have tours there on Saturday, and then the Ball in the House in that new Kundak Hall facility, which is beautiful. But also Saturday afternoon has become a real Riverwalk and depot-centered area, and it's a nice shaded area. We got a lot of events down there along the river, a lot of family events. So yeah, spreading it out and letting people see more and more of Jasper.
On the square, I noticed that you have new direction signs to let people know what's going on along the square. I noticed that the other day.
Yes, that was a wonderful idea we had on the committee, and it was nice that the city allowed that. I think it adds a little European touch, and it gives those visitors from out of town some directions on where to go. We take things for granted maybe where we know things are here in Jasper, so just a nice touch.
Along the square, that's where basically the booths are. How many booths are there? Any new booths? Or how did that go this year?
Well, I think we changed a few things around with the booths. I have no idea how many booths are. We have a booth committee chairman,
yeah, that's good.
Jay Bagelin, but we had to move some things around this year, which we accommodated everyone. So again, we don't like to stay the same every year, so we look at how to improve things every year. So.
And the thing with the booths are they're run by nonprofit organizations that give back with the proceeds to the community, and that's what the Strassenfest community has always tried to do.
Yes, and we thank all those groups and individuals that do commit time to bring us those booths and the products they sell, because that's a significant part of the Strassenfest and significant part of our income, and that what we use to put on next year's Strassenfest.
I know as a first-year chairman, you have a committee that helps you get things together. I'm sure you leaned on them a little bit. I know there's
heavily.
Like 17, but I know you appreciate their help.
Well, you know, I've been on the committee for about 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. This is my 11th year, and I've always had my little thing I do, and I've always worked with the history and the design. I always had my things, my responsibilities done very early, and I've never really paid attention to those other ones. And this year now, being in charge, it was eye-opening to see how much we do as a committee, and I lean on those 17 members very heavily, especially the chamber. Nancy and June there at the chamber, they are the eyes and ears of the Strassenfest, and kudos go to them.
I'm sure that the city of Jasper plays a large part because you're dealing with streets, you're dealing with cleanup. I'm sure you get a lot of help from the city.
We meet with the city and the county early on, a couple months before we get the street closings wrapped up. We talk to the street commissioner, the county people, get all that lined up. Luckily, I have a binder full of notes that tell me where and when to go, so pass that on to each chairman. But it's a process that we have to go through, that's for sure.
One thing about the Strassenfest, that usually has something for everyone.
Yes, and it's a family-oriented event, old to young. We look at providing different things for everybody, and I think we do a good job. There's so many things that go on during the Strassenfest, you just can't get to everything. And I'm going to try to get to more things this year that I've never seen before. So.
All right, Ron, it looks like we're going to have great weather, but hot. Appreciate you coming by. I know you're busy. We'll let you get on to your chairman's duties. Good luck this week, and thanks for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the highlights of the fest every year is the very first event, which is the Queens pageant and the Little Miss and Mr. contest. Here are the winners.
Our second runner-up in the Little Miss contest is Maris Egloff. Okay, our first runner-up, Little Miss, Grace Harmon. Our 2007 Little Miss Strassenfest is Catherine Wiggin. It's going to take a little longer now. We got to put the sash and the crown and all that good stuff on. Good job. Our second runner-up in our Little Mr. Strassenfest tonight is Isaac Bartley. Okay, our first runner-up tonight in the Little Mr. Strassenfest is Johnny Verkamp. Our 2007 Little Mr. Strassenfest is Hagen Patton. All right, let's give them all a big round of applause. Okay, we're going to ask the rest of our Little Miss and Little Mr. contestants to come off to the side of the stage this evening here so we can make room for our announcement of our Strassenfest Queens pageant winners. Also, I'd like to remind you that when the pageant is over, we ask that you do not come up on the stage. We've got things kind of roped off here because we don't want anybody falling down in the orchestra pit or anything. So this side door out here to the side would be a perfect place to meet them, or they can come out that side door and meet you, okay? Let's bring back Emily again to help us this evening. We're going to award Miss Photogenic first, and we're going to give that award to Allison Vogler. Our Miss Congeniality of the 2007 Jasper Strassenfest is Brittany Kiefner. Big round of applause for our second runner-up in our 2007 Miss Strassenfest pageant. Our second runner-up tonight is Chelsea Taylor. First runner-up tonight in our 2007 Miss Strassenfest pageant is Brittany Brockman. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming your new 2007 Miss Strassenfest, Kristen Weidenbach. Final reminder, tonight's pageant will be televised on August 9th at 7 p.m. on WJTS TV channel 27. So if you want to watch it again, you can watch it at that time.
You can see that contest in its entirety next Thursday, August 9th at 7 here on WJTS 27. Stay tuned. We'll have more 27 minutes right after this. Welcome back. Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels made an appearance at the Dubois County 4-H Fair last week. He stopped by to talk to Bill Potter. Bill, take it away.
Well, it's been some time, I think, since we've had a governor. I think it's the first time ever a governor showed up at the Dubois County 4-H Fair on two wheels. Thanks for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure. I know I don't look very gubernatorial, but nobody seemed to mind.
No, I don't think anybody minds in a rural area. And tell us about your impressions of the rural area of Indiana.
Of course, we're very committed to it. We've been described as the most pro-ag administration in memory. Maybe we are. And it's not just because we love rural Indiana, and not just because we love the people who live there. It's because we believe there's money to be made, more than we have in Indiana, and that's why our huge push into ethanol and to boost livestock production in this part of the state, hardwood production. I see a lot of promise for agriculture in Indiana and for the small towns that support it, that it supports.
Governor Mitch Daniels, along that same line, what about the 4-H programs? What do they mean to Indiana?
It's the best. It's the best of our state. The kids that are in it, you just see so much purpose. You see high character, a work ethic that is that some of their classmates elsewhere in the state would have a hard time understanding. The adults who give so selflessly to the 4-H program, I try to always thank them. You know, they're building the next generation in a way that we really need.
And riding through the state on a motorcycle has got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, well, it's been my hobby for a long, long time, and you know, they taught me into getting my beloved black bike painted to look like the state flag, but I guess that's okay. It's growing on me. And, you know, when the weather's right and this time of year, folks don't seem to mind if I show up a little bit casual, and it makes the job a little more fun.
Well, once again, Governor Mitch Daniels, thanks for coming to the Dubois County 4-H Fair.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, high school football is just right around the corner. The Jasper Wildcats started practice earlier this week. Jasper coach Tony Ahrens on the early workouts and the new season ahead.
Well, you know, coming into the season, we were very intent on creating a team with good camaraderie and being good teammates, and we've impressed that upon our kids, and to push each other in practice, and when things aren't going well, to have some composure and challenge one another so we can improve. And the other concentration point, obviously, for every team, I think, is to try to get ourselves in good shape to where we can get into that first game and be able to play well in the fourth quarter.
Have the guys come into the camp pretty good shapes with the summer stuff that you did? How'd the summer go?
Well, you know, this past summer we kind of changed a little bit, and all of our workouts were outside to get our kids acclimated a little bit better to the conditions that we're going to practice in. And right now, you know, just by the way our kids are responding right now, I think we're in a little bit better shape than what we came into our season last year.
On the football side of things, what are the main points of emphasis? What do you got to work on the most with a new group coming in?
Well, you know, this team in particular, I think that we have some good skill kids coming in, but they're young, so we're going to have to give them a little bit of patience. But always, you know, I feel like up front, you know, our line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball has to be able to do some things well in order for us to be successful. Because you can have a great skill player if those boys up front aren't doing it, you know, we're not going very far.
Do you think you can be pretty good later on both sides of the ball up front?
I think so. I think that we got some young kids that we want to groom and see if we can't bring them up and get him into some varsity action. But you know the speed of a varsity game. You know, you put a young guy in a varsity game and he's like, oh man, you know. So they'll come around. It's just a matter of a little patience.
In the next coming week or so, what do you got planned? I guess 2-a-days, and then you have a scrimmage on Saturday and then a scrimmage on Friday?
Yeah, we have what we refer to as a black and gold game, which will take place on a Saturday morning. It's just an opportunity for us to scrimmage a little bit. Then next week we'll have a scrimmage here at home on a Friday evening with North High School, and they'll bring some pretty good speed here with that Pendleton boy that they got under quarterback. He'll provide our team with some good speed to see if we can't defend a little of that.
Tony, as football starts, it's always hot every summer. There's no getting around that, and I know you guys take great precautions and getting guys water, things after practice that help them get ready for the next practice. You guys got a pretty good setup the way you guys watch the heat and how guys respond to it.
Well, I think first of all, you know, the attention there should go to Rodney Crawford, our trainer, and Dr. Dean Beckman. You know, those two have put a game plan together here that is probably the best in the state with what they're doing for our kids from the standpoint of after practice is now providing the kids with bananas and peanut butter sandwiches and drinks like Gatorade and Powerade to fluid our kids back, because a lot of times they'll go home and they simply won't do those kinds of things. So we're trying to take care of our kids from the standpoint of not only getting those things, but educate them on how to take care of themselves in these kinds of conditions.
And then down through the years, you guys also give plenty of water in practice. That probably wasn't the case 10, 15, 20 years ago, but now it's a necessity, and it helps the guys perform better, I would think, once they're in practice.
I think that's probably the style of living. I know that when we came up, you know, getting a drink of water at practice was like a no-no, and I think that might have had something to do with what kids back in back day did. They worked outside a lot, but these kids today, it's a different world, you know, and we have to provide them and take care of them.
Tony, it's another football season. Are you guys excited about the start of the new campaign?
Well, I think, you know, we have this year we have a staff in order. We've been together for a while now. That's been very helpful. And we got a good group of kids right now. You know, the practices are enjoyable coming to. Don't know if that'll translate into many wins, but right now coming to practice and trying to get our kids to do things has been quite honestly an enjoyable time.
Coach Ahrens and the Wildcats start the season Friday night, August 17th, when they host the Memorial Tigers at Alumni Stadium. That'll wrap up this edition of 27 Minutes here on WJTS 27. For the entire crew, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Enjoy this year's Strassenfest.